Hello folks and welcome back. I'm Northlane of Northlene's Game Space, and if this is a successful run, successful meaning I'm not stuck with a bunch of 100k guys or a bunch of 2k guys, somewhere right in the middle. Really right in the middle. Show you the capabilities of the tactical escort build that I have. Bear in mind that I'm garbage with my tech captain and in escorts. So even if it's with a good group, expect me to die a few times. Looks like an advanced escort, but it's actually the mirror patrol escort. I really love that. Really a good group, but I'm doing better than I thought I would. Mr. Reyes keeps dying right off the bat all the time. these guys actually tried. Alright, so let's get into the actual build itself. Three deaths is more than I wanted. I wanted none, but with a group like that, it was bound to happen. You know? Alright, so now let's dock. And start going over the skills. By now, some of this should be starting to look very familiar. 3 ranks in energy weapons, 1 rank in shield restoration, 1 rank in hull, electroplasma, and full impulse. Impulse expertise, all 3 ranks. Both ranks in control and drain expertise, targeting expertise, and defensive maneuvering. Weapon specialization, weapon amplification, shield hardness, hull plating, every single power that we can get your hands on, including all 3 of these here. Then engineering readiness. Last but not least, round set everything out with the long-range targeting sensors, and that's Kintra's basic build. Her traits: go to personal space, last-ditch effort. She gains res from go down fighting. Beam weapon training, because she's got a beam on there. Cannon training, because she's got mostly cannons, cannon-type weapons. Fleet coordinator. I really should have gone with something else for instead of beam, but I really don't have it. Anyway, fleet coordinator, which is 2% damage per team member, up to 10%. Innocuous, which is the additional crit severity and negative threat. Operative, which, as you know, is crit chance and severity. Thrill Seeker, which is impulse, and then Warp Core Theorist. In fact, that's the one I'd probably want, actually. Elusive. And I might be actually choosing Crippling Fire for the level 60. Were she to stay with, I have no Starship traits, although I do have some Space Wrap traits you see that are actually not on. Let's take a look. Here we go. Roster, active space, nothing. And you see that I do have some purple and blue guys that I could throw in. So, last but not least, the Powhatan. Mirror Patrol Escort. So basically it's a patrol escort inside the hull of a Prometheus. And all these weapons, the frontal weapons except for the wide angle, were upgraded from Mark II, so that's why this one's actually an epic as opposed to a rare. It critted to twice, which is amazing, I thought. Kelvin Timeline Torpedo Launcher. I'm trying that one out. I don't know. It seems to be pretty decent. We'll see. Positron Deflector Array with Control X EPG and Shield Cap. I couldn't find a decent one, and I didn't want to rip it off of one of my other characters, so I got the best one for heals that I possibly could. Impulse Engines Mark 12 with Speed and Turn X2. You could flip the turn and speed modifiers for the speed to X2, but I like a little more turn rate than I do speed. Plasma Integrated Warp Core, that's the enhanced base regeneration rate, as well as this one has additional subsystem engine power, and this one adds 7.5% of my shield power to my weapons as bonus power. Now, given that it's got absolutely no shields per se, it's not that great for the it's not that great of a bonus. In fact, if I were to do it, it'd be the other way around, weapons to shields. Alright, a pair of turrets and then an omnidirectional anti-proton off the back, and the beam there is so that way you can punch things with the beam overload. Right, you know, normally you would have a dual beam bank up in the front, but I went with the Omni instead because it does more damage than a turret by, you know, a fair margin. Batteries, of course, weapons and shields, they help out a lot, especially that weapons battery. That's an additional, what, 75% or 75 weapons power setting, and in addition I think that also gives you a damage buff, but I'm not sure. A pair of neutroniums for you know, resistances, as you can see, with the exception of the plasma. We'll get to that in a second. It's 25% straight across the board. And here's where the plasma resistance comes from. I grabbed the cheapest RCS accelerator on the exchange that had a plasma modifier, so I take less damage from plasma, and that actually, I think, saved me during that one time where I was walking off a plasma burn at 4% hull. Two field generator consoles, that way I've got a little bit more shields. It's not going to be much because they're regenerative, even though it's got a cap and a plasma resistance buff to reduce the damage further. It's not great, but it's something at least. And filled up the rest with anti-proton mag regulators to, you know, boost the damage of our cannons and beam. Don't know if you took a look, but auxiliary powered inertial dampeners, and I haven't done this with the other two, and I probably should have. Emergency to shields, and emergency weapons was on automatic cycle. The Science is my healing officer, so Science team and hazard emitters too. Then we've got 2 copies of tactical team, a torpedo high yield 2, a beam overload 2, attack pattern omega, and then a scan and scatter volley 3, and then cannon scatter volley 2. And I think that actually covers everything about the build. So, tabbing back out because I have another combat notification. There we go. Kintra did 15,000 DPS. 15,000 DPS in that run. The highest DPS person only did 21,000. And all told, only one person died less than I did. Nope, sorry, 2 of them died less than I did. That would be Reaver and Maka from that run. Alright. Well, not the best run, but I think it's the best run I can hope for that doesn't have a bunch of screw-ups or a bunch of super duper 100k people that just make me feel absolutely inadequate. Alright. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video, give me a thumbs down if you don't like the video. Either way, leave a comment in the description below. And as always, I will see you guys next time.